The General Secretary of Italy-based Public Services International, PSI, Rosa Pavanelli, says reports by the United Nations show that privatization of public assets has failed many countries, including Nigeria. Pavanelli, who was speaking in Abuja while on a courtesy call to the Nigeria Labour Congress President Ayuba Waba, said privatization has created inequality around the world and reduced quality of services in many countries.
Since the era of Margaret Thatcher, of this massive way and claims of privatization of public services. I know Nigeria has been resisting, just to think of the Lagos water privatization. And mainly after the financial crisis, it has been a mantra of the financial institution, monetary fund, regional development bank, all the financial governance saying you have to privatize services, you have to privatize school, health, pensions, whatever, and use public-private partnership to provide services. It will reduce the cost on the public budget. It will enhance quality and provide a better service. Now there's plenty of evidence that's not true, that PPPs are a complete failure, and that PPPs are not only dangerous because they are a tool to privatize services, reduce workers' conditions and workers' wages, reducing the quality of the service itself.
NLC president said Nigerian workers do not support the privatization of public assets because it has encouraged the transfer of public assets to individuals who only get richer while the majority of the people get poorer. He said the organized labor will not compromise on the 30,000 naira minimum wage for Nigerian workers.
21 states, as all of us could recall, sent in their memos and quoted figures. And the process ended and the report had been submitted. So coming at this very late hour to now begin to talk of any figure outside the 30,000, I think it amounts to trying to divert our attention and is belated. And I think the process is very clear as outlined in Convention 131. It's a tripartite negotiation process. That process has ended. It took 1 year, and the process that led to agreeing on 30,000 was also a collective process. Privatization is just to put our national assets and resources in the hands of very few. It's not about the people, it's actually about interests. And therefore, we have said clearly that we are against the privatization of any public service, from health to education to civil service. We also discourage the use of consultants in the civil service to utility and power.
Mr. Waba also said that workers' pension funds would no longer be invested in high-risk ventures because it puts workers' welfare at risk after retirement.
The current guideline by PENCOM, which had the input of labor, is to the effect that those funds cannot be invested in any very risky venture. And our eyes, our attention, and everything about workers is on that pension fund. And therefore, we will continue to ensure that the pension fund is not for any reason utilized outside the guideline and outside the also taking on board the interests of the pensioner and also the workers that are contributing that money.
Privatization, which has been embraced by many economic thinkers today, was introduced during the Margaret Thatcher era in the United Kingdom and was exported as a model by the Reagan administration in the United States. A few days ago, PDP presidential candidate in the 2019 elections, Atiku Abubakar, promised to privatize Nigeria's National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, while incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari wants to privatize the Ajaokuta State Company, the Nigerian railways, and to concession some vital roads in the country.